Yeah, still a bit raw to be fair. Disappointment that's hard to get over. We obviously enjoyed each other's company after the game and all that, and back in here today to kind of see off the lads as well. There's still a bit of disappointment, well, a lot of disappointment, finishing the season the way we did, but I suppose at the same time, on reflection, there's not much more we could have done in the game. I think, we left it all out there, and it's a cruel way to go out, but in some ways it's almost an easier way to go out too, because there's nothing else we could have really done on the day. Such a hard thing to do to, fly so far across the world, get over the travel, then prepare for a quarter-final against, a team full of internationals that, are probably hot favourites going into the game. And we knew we had an opportunity, and we knew we were good enough to win the game, but we also knew we had to put everything out there, and I think we did that. We did everything we said we were going to do. I thought our defence was class at times. Our attack, when it was working well, we scored some nice tries. And, when you look back on the game, and I'm sure I will look back on it at some point, but I'm going off memory here, but everything everyone put into that game was 100%, and that's all you can ask of one another. So unbelievably proud to be part of that team that was out there on the Saturday. For us, it was all about winning silverware for them, and obviously that's a big part of the disappointment, is feeling disappointed for them, almost a bit guilty that we couldn't do it for them, because they're so deserving of finishing off their careers with silverware. But I think that's sport, and that's the cruelty of sport. I'm sure there's people leaving in every squad around the URC, and they'll all want to have done the same thing for those players leaving. Said in the change room afterwards, the legacy that those boys are leaving behind them, like they're huge boots to fill, and that's something that each and every player that comes through the system or comes here to put on a Munster jersey, they're going to have to try and live up to what all those boys have left behind them, and that's going to be no easy feat, because, as you said, they're absolute Munster legends. They've all more or less played over 200 times for this club, and that's not an easy thing to do. And things that people don't see is the professionalism, the leadership, the hard work and everything, and then just the crack they bring around the place as well. They're pretty much part of the furniture here in some ways, and it's just going to be a very strange place to walk in here next year and not have any of those boys to kind of turn to, either for a chat, just for a laugh, or you'd be expecting a joke off Archie or to stir the pot or something like that. It'll be a strange place not having that, but it's time to say goodbye to them. Good to say goodbye to them, but also you say goodbye, but you say thank you because of what they've done and what they're leaving behind them. A roller coaster for sure. It's been, look, as a club in general, it's been a topsy-turvy year, with everything that's happened here in the last year. So to be my first year as captain and all that to happen, it comes with its challenges. All you want to do is right by your teammates, and I've been so grateful to have the likes of Pete, Jack O'Donoghue, Barnesy, all the leadership group to lean on. At the end of the day, it's a learning curve for me, and I'm still learning, and I'm probably not the right person to ask if I'm doing a good job. Hopefully someone else will say I am, but I'll continue to try and improve, and I will say I felt a bit more comfortable as the season went on. By the end I felt more comfortable, in my role as captain for sure. I'm just hope I'm doing good by the boys, because that's my main concern, is that those lads are happy, and if they're happy, I'll be happy. As a whole, it's incredibly exciting, to have someone come in and change a few things up. The way I think we sort of find ourselves again towards the end of the season, so hopefully we can kick on from there. And then with Porky Queeve in Europe, we've so many exciting things coming up next year, so it should be a year that everyone should be excited about. All going well, we'll hit the ground running. Yeah, incredibly excited. It's a long season, and after the disappointment, it can be hard to just go into summer and reflect on it. So maybe I'm a bit lucky that I get to turn to something and chase a bit of success again. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited to get to meet the group and spend a bit of time with them. excited to do a Lions that has fans, where we're not stuck in a hotel, and actually experience it for what it is. And you're asking me what it means. It's such an honour. It's it's an honour for me. I get to represent Munster at the Lions. I get to represent my family, and I get to represent myself. So I'm very excited for the summer. I know it's going to be challenging, but it's really exciting. I'm really excited to actually experience the Lions for what it is.